But the other bit of happenings or whatever, and the entire reason that that we didn't have an episode 2 weeks ago was LASIK. Got the eye surgery, man.
Got the eye thing done, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing though. See, I'm still not convinced, right? I prepared for this.
Okay.
I bought quite a while ago. I bought an extra pair of glasses that didn't have a prescription in them, so I could have an extra spare, like if I broke my lenses or whatever. So I could just fool the masses, man. Like you'd never know. You'd never know that I could actually see.
Do you really want to wear glasses though?
You know, see, this is a thing, and I get this. I got this from my good friend.
Listen, I've worn them all my life, practically. So
exactly, and I was like, but I don't know what life is like without them, man. This is before the surgery, so like, because I was telling him this exact thing, right? Like, I have a spare. I can just put them on, whatever. I could look smart. I could continue to look smart because I've lost like 10 IQ points just by taking these off.
Maybe. I don't think so.
So I was like, I could just put them on and I could wear them and I could look smart, or I could fool everybody and pretend like I didn't have the eye surgery or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, and he was like, well, why would you want to do that? And just like you, like I've been wearing them since I was 8. Like I don't remember a time when I wasn't wearing them. So throughout my life, I've woken up, reached over for the glasses and popped them on, and then the day starts.
Because I really can't see anything hardly without them.
Coming up in this episode, the new XF Window Lanager, a new WebKid on the block, and a little food for the trolls. Welcome to Linux User Space. I'm Leo.
And I'm Dan.
Dan, so Xfce has created a new Window Lanager? Is that how?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily what all that stands for, but so here it is. Xfce has decided they're going to enter the Wayland verse, if you will.
All right.
And
wait a minute.
And
they entered the Wayland verse in 2024. We totally did an entire thing about it.
They did, but I mean, they've been trying to adapt, we'll say another window manager. I want to say it was LabWC or one of those that is, Wayland only, right? But they've been trying to adapt that to things, and I don't know, I guess they figured out that wasn't going as smoothly as they'd hoped. So now they've decided to diverge and go a different route with that. And what they've picked up is XFWL. And so that's where,
okay.
That's where you got that from.
Window Lanager. I'm almost positive that. Oh, wait, Wayland. Yeah. Wayland.
Now,
Window Lanager.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's not that.
They should have done it. They should have done it.
Maybe.
Xfce.
They could invent it. Leo invented it right here, right now.
That's right.
Give him the royalties.
Next time you invent something, you let me help you. I'll name it. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, so the what they were using was WL roots based essentially, and this goes away from that a little bit. But
LabWC or
I think LabWC is just like WL roots based.
Oh,
right?
Okay. Oh,
it's one of those.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, they all branch together. I see. Okay.
They do, and so the new thing is not that, and what the interesting part here is. It's based on Smith A, which is also the foundation for Cosmic. And so we've been talking about Cosmic. We've been testing Cosmic, and that's been working pretty well. And it's all Rust-based. It's written in Rust. So also very popular right now, and not a terribly bad way to go. probably.
Rust is making its way into Xfce now too.
It seems that way, yeah.
Oh my God! It's a plague. It just shows up absolutely everywhere. Why does everybody like memory safety so much?
I especially in your desktop environment. I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, you kind of don't want it spilling over into applications that may or may not be malicious. It's a good thing.
And that's kind of one of the things that Wayland is supposed to be prideful for. Is things don't spill into one another. They're supposed to be separate.
That's a big reason why Wayland exists.
Stuff like that. Yeah, no, right, exactly. So that's one of the best features, honestly, I think. So I'm kind of excited about this because I'm not a real big Xfce user or anything, but it's nice to see the traction and see them, get their footing and continue on. And they're going to be able to do Wayland. And I think that's pretty great to, another desktop environment. Why not, right? It already existed, so.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. Like, every time we talk about a different desktop, whether it be Cosmic, which is what I've been on about a lot lately, or KDE moving to Wayland, or GNOME already on Wayland, or whatever's happening, there is one comment every time, and it's, I'll just keep using Xfce. And not for nothing, it is a really good desktop. It's not my favorite desktop. Dan, you said it's not top, not number one, but
I'll use it. It's good.
But it is a solid desktop. It is the favorite of so many people. I mean, they let us know. We're almost to Arch, by the way, at this point of Xfce desktop users, which is fine. But it is funny, and that, I think, is why this coming across the desk was so enticing. Because if I'm not mistaken, was the X in Xfce not X11? Was it not that?
There were X forms, right? So it started as X forms, right? That was XF. And I think X forms were supposed to be based on X.
I mean, everything was I guess, at that time.
I mean, but yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
So it is a really cool. Well, we knew they were moving to Wayland for a little while, since 2024, but it's really cool to see this that they're now basing on Smith A, because this is something that is being battle tested right now in the form of Cosmic, because they're using the same compositor to do all of the stuff that they're doing. And I mean, like I said, it's what I've been hacking away on to see if it's going to work for me, and it seems like it is. And it gives me the opportunity to shove in the fact that Cosmic finally added blur. Well, they're adding.
Bling.
More bling. So like rounded corners and shadows and blur and all the stuff that
the
I
shadows
like.
are kind of nice. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not too distracting or whatever. But that means that I think there's a pathway now for Xfce to do the exact same thing.
I think so. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. And hopefully they can share a little bit, right? Back and forth. It's nice to have a couple of projects even working, with the same foundations, so that, as bugs come up, you can have multiple people working on them and reporting and all of that, right? So I think there's some advantage to being able to use some of those similar tools, to be able to, make it better for everybody.
Yep, exactly. So does that mean that Xfce is going to get rid of X11 one day?
Well, I mean, I listen, they won't do that until they're ready. I mean, that's been the Xfce model from the very beginning, is a bit, stability. And I think there could be a point, right? I mean, this does set up the possibility that, somewhere much further down the road that they get to that point where everyone says, oh, well, everything's good now, and we'll just, drop X11. I think that's pretty far out.
Yeah.
We're talking, in all seriousness, probably close to a decade. Probably.
Yeah. I mean,
probably 10 years.
I don't think Xfce is, or I don't think X11 is going anywhere for a long time.
At least that amount of time, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Because it's in some pretty long-term stable things. So think like Almond Linux or Red Hat stuff. Those things hang on for a very long time, as does some of the canonical Ubuntu stuff. Right, those things are getting support for 10 and 12 years, and
I think the latest Ubuntu thing is 15 years
15
now
on the latest one. Yeah, so I mean, 15 years from now, it'll still exist. It may not be getting feature enhancements, but it'll probably get critical bug support. They can't let it, and it doesn't change a lot, so it isn't going to need a lot of things. But if it's a security vulnerability, someone's going to address it.
Yeah,
in the next 15 years, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I like the fact that Xfce is working this way. It's really exciting to see that Wayland is making even more inroads. A couple episodes ago we did the KDE thing, Plasma, where Plasma now has the deadline of 2027.
Yep.
And now
both GNOME and Plasma have announced that there's an end. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is really cool. I really like seeing Wayland coming into its own, which means that there's just going to be more eyes on Wayland, more fixes for Wayland. Wayland is just going to get better and better, and it's picking up steam.
Exactly.
And that means that, it is already, I guess, kind of the de facto thing.
I think most things have turned to that as it needs to support Wayland protocols. And I think it's important. We sort of talked about it a little bit with the security thing, but there is a lot of security enhancement that just comes inherently with those protocols.
Right.
Because, I know some people say, well, it's not very convenient if my, screen capture thing doesn't work right. But do you really want everything capturing your screen? No, that sounds like a bad idea, right? Because that's how stuff gets lifted, through a malicious plugin or something in your browser, right?
We were just talking about Bitwarden and all that, doing that kind of thing.
It's capturing your whole entire screen and sending it off to who knows where, right? And that's no good because it has access to do that. Whereas with Wayland, it makes you kind of like request access, if you will, sort of underneath in the underlying things. It gets you that portal, if you will. If it's not written for that, then it won't have access to it. So I think the safety in that is probably the biggest thing. And nobody sees any of that, so they don't really care too much.
Right.
But that's why some of those screen grabbers and OBS, and that's why they've had such a lot more of an on-ramp to be able to function in Wayland territory. Is because it needs to be written that way so that it can, and not allow too much access to the things that shouldn't have it. So I like all of the security that sits behind everything that nobody sees, and can actually do some real protection.
Definitely. We're in for a Wayland future. I think it's going to be better security wise. We might lose a feature or two, but in the end, I think it's going to be just a better way to do things, man. I think this has been a long time coming, and X ain't going anywhere. So keep using it until the wheels fall off.
Yep. And I'm sure Xfce will hang on to it. Probably one of the longer ones, right?
Yeah, definitely.
If you like looking at our face, you can do that on YouTube. And if you're not subscribed over there, you should do that. Click the little bell thing and get the notifications so that you know when new episodes or new little short things show up. And they can be in your inbox and you'll know. So that's cool. The other place you can look at us, that's Tilvids, and that's edutainment. And they're a great host for our content, and we love the support that they give us. So you can catch all the little history bits and all of that stuff, plus all the little chunks of real episode they show up in TillVids too.
That's right.
Leo breaks all those down and puts them over there. And the cool thing about TillVids is it's a PeerTube instance, and it's federated, so you can subscribe on Mastodon or some other place, and get it fed to your stream that way. Plus, when you make comments and stuff on Mastodon, they show up over on the TillVids too, and everybody can see them over there. So that's kind of one of the really nice things that you don't get with the YouTube platform, because that only exists in YouTube.
Yeah, we live that, because anytime anybody leaves a comment on our video on TillVids, I use our main account to respond to those comments, as opposed to the TillVids account that it lives under. So the whole federated thing makes it really, really cool to keep everything in one cool little silo, even though it reaches out and touches all kinds of stuff. It is really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It really is. So that's good stuff. And if you really, really want to support us, you can head on over to Patreon and become a patron. Actually, you could be a patron for free and just kind of get some of the stuff fed to you. But if you start putting in some dollars, even $1, you'll start getting some of the benefits. And there's all kinds of things. So you get the audio early. You'll get access to our Discord patron space. You'll get, and if you put in a few more dollars, you'll get early access to the video. You'll get the full-length video of all of the shenanigans that we do before and after the show. So you get the best of the worst. There is a lot. There usually is a lot. You'll get probably 3 times the episode sometimes.
Yeah, there was a lot of talk about this most recent snowstorm that
not all of it's
spanned across.
That's why it doesn't make it to the show. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's a good time, and we appreciate your support. Give us a few dollars and we'll give you some benefits. We'll give you some, video. We'll give you some high quality audio. You get that too. And you can subscribe like an RSS sort of feed thing in Patreon as well. I mean, there's a way to do that. And that way you don't even have to think about it. It's just right there in your face.
That's right. So Dan, there's a new WebKid on the block. No, wait, WebKit. WebKit.
Oh, Kit. Yeah, I got you.
So there's a new browser on in the neighborhood, and it's based on WebKit, which is something that you don't really hear a whole heck of a lot, at least on the Linux side. You hear it sometimes on the Mac side because...
I guess it's making a comeback, though, I think. So there's a few things that have it, So
you see it in Safari over on... I think that's probably the most prominent place that you see it.
Right.
But Dan, you reminded me earlier today that WebKit is based on a KDE project, KHTML, which is what allowed Conqueror, the browser / file manager / everything tool.
Was there anything? Is there anything it couldn't do? Didn't do?
Nope.
Doesn't do? I don't know. It still does it, I think.
Pretty sure. It did absolutely everything in KDE before. But you may know it from Safari, but you might also know it from GNOME Web.
Yeah, GNOME Web. Yep.
And now...
I also believe Falcon is the other one.
Oh, that's
that
right.
You hear around Linux circles that uses WebKit.
That's pretty cool. And so the new thing that is based on WebKit is Orion browser. So if you are in any way familiar with Kagi, which is, I would suppose, the last bastion of freedom as it comes to search.
Not monetarily, but yes.
True. Well, the first few searches per month are indeed free.
You get 100, I think.
Yeah, but if you go beyond that, maybe a little dollar.
Then you're into pay territory.
Yeah, a few dollars.
But what you don't get is ads to your face.
Oh, very much so. And I do think that they do have AI stuff, but they're not.
They do, and they're starting to ramp that up a little bit too.
Right, but even our old faithful Proton has a bunch of AI stuff built into
Almost
it now, too.
Everybody does now. Yeah, you can't get away from it.
Nope, it's absolutely everywhere. So they may not be AI free, but they definitely are ad free, and
they are that.
they're now creating Orion based on WebKit, which has extensions. It's a privacy-focused browser, and it runs on Linux. But of course it does. We wouldn't really be talking about it if it wasn't running on Linux over here.
Yeah, it's still early days. It's kind of alpha, right? I think now.
Super alpha?
But they totally plan to support Linux. So
they do have a preview version out that you can run. I think maybe there's been a version or two, a couple of iterations out there so far, but you can actually get it fired up and running on Linux. But my favorite thing about this is actually one of my favorite things about software in general is if it runs everywhere. And it runs most of the places right now, but it will run everywhere eventually. So obviously it works for Windows and Mac. It is a Mac first browser, but it doesn't mean that I don't think that means that anybody else is going to get left behind. I think the cool stuff will hit Mac, and then it'll all kind of trickle down until the workflows get perfected, and then I think everybody should be getting all the updates all the time at the same time.
Yeah. I find it kind of interesting that they picked Mac OS first, and I can only believe that that's because of the way Safari, works over there. And, Mac OS comes with Safari out of the box, right? So everybody's mostly stuck with it.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is hopefully better, but has the same foundation. So, I mean, maybe that makes it easier to move to, kind of makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. It gives me a lot of Safari vibes, actually.
Well, of course. Yeah, I would expect that.
It really kind of reminds me of Safari during the last graphical user interface update, where the tabs kind of hung down as opposed to kind of live on top or whatever. Now Safari tries to be super duper integrated and kind of hide the fact that you're in a tab, and the other tabs kind of like fade into the background a little bit. But
you mean like Internet Explorer did?
At a time, Internet Explorer was around before tabs existed.
No, I know, but I meant integrate into the operating system.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Safari definitely does that. I don't think you can get rid of it. It's
you kind of can't, right?
No, it's immutable like the cool Linuxes these days are, which means that Safari's baked in. You can't get rid of it, but you can definitely replace it. It just lives in the background, just like Internet Explorer used to. But yeah, I have to believe that it was Mac first because WebKit development is probably easier on Mac when you're trying to base your kind of workflow off of, kind of a Mac-ish workflow, to be quite honest with you. So it came out on Mac OS first. It's been on the App Store as well. Then Windows support came, then Linux support came, and here's a surprise: Linux support dropped before Android support. So we're not quite there with Android, and I know many of the folks that are going to be using this on Linux will also turn around and then use it on Android. So if you're like me, you're probably waiting for that, because
I think it would be helpful. I mean, if you're going to get into things that, like sync and stuff like that, then you kind of want that to exist in all of the platforms that you exist. So
exactly. So yeah, I mean, if I were an Android user, I think that I would be waiting for that. But now that there's a Linux version of this, I am an Apple phone user. That means that now I can jump on the train so that I can kind of experience it all over the place, because I guess the only platform I really don't have is Android. So I can mess around with this on Mac, I can mess around with this on Windows, play around with it on Linux and on iOS as well. So I can kind of get the full...
when it shows up for Android, I can give it a whirl.
Right, and that is actually, that brings me to one of the points that I wanted to make about this, which is that I think this might be one of the browser kind of rabbit holes that we go down, because you don't see this every day. Like, you see new browsers all the time, but what you don't see every day is a cross-platform browser that works maybe in a few weeks everywhere. And because that's actually one of the biggest reasons why I use Firefox, because it syncs all over the place and it's not Google. That helps.
Well, that's fair.
Yeah. I mean, Vivaldi's way up there because it's also not Google.
And that's in more places than it was at 1.2. So, I mean, that's kind of pretty much everywhere now, too.
Yeah.
And it works really well. I tend to, tends to be my number one, if you will. So I don't know, but it's not the only new kid though. There's another one that's coming, and it's more Linux focused, obviously, because it has the Linux Foundation backing it. And that's Servo, which is kind of a step back in time, from early days Mozilla, because it's Rust based, and so Mozilla kind of dropped the whole thing. And now someone's picking it up. So, I mean, I think that's kind of exciting too. That's another one to watch out for. I really think so.
Yeah, we were talking about this pre-show. I think we need to. So there's a Killed by Google thing, which is essentially just a timeline or a Hall of Fame of all of the things that Google has murdered over the years. Now, I really do think that we need a Mozilla Hall of Fame, but for a slightly different purpose, because Mozilla has invented some of the coolest things in all of existence and then got rid of them.
I know.
So, like, they're not dead. Like, Google's stuff is dead, right? Like, maybe you can pick up some pieces really or pick up some, or pick up some inspiration from those things or whatever. Mozilla invented Servo. And it was always originally intended to be a replacement for Gecko, their current engine, which is now, I guess, just going to be the engine forever, because...
seems like.
I don't know. It doesn't look like they're going to go and, like, recollect Servo, but...
It's where Rust began.
Yes. Oh, my goodness.
And now that is definitely the favor of most things. Even, that's everywhere. I mean, and very popular, so... It's where that began and rose up. So I don't know. That's kind of sad in a little bit of way.
I cannot believe, and I'm sure the list doesn't end there. Please, if you know of other things that Mozilla has killed that has become like the most used this or that, please let me know, because I want this segment to go on for absolutely ever. Because don't get me wrong, I love me some Mozilla, some Firefox browser. But you'll never convince me
things they've killed off are not great. I mean, and some of them are kind of small, and some of them didn't get used a lot, and some of them people complained about a ton, but some of them were quite useful.
Were you thinking about Pocket when you said that?
Yeah, people complained about Pocket a ton. Yeah,
Pocket was fine. I just couldn't find a use for it because I have all of that infrastructure like kind of running in the background already anyway, so I didn't need it. But it seemed fine.
Well, it's interesting because it actually sparked me to use ReadDeck, which is Pocket-like, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the idea of Pocket, the workflow of Pocket isn't necessarily a bad one or anything like that, but
right.
Yeah, I think there were other factors at play that people just really did not like it.
The other one that got me was Send. But you tell me that's coming back, so that's cool.
It is coming back. So Thunderbird through Thunderbird Pro is Thunder Mail Pro. What is it? Thunder something Pro. Thunder Pro.
Yes.
I'm waiting for it. So the information about this has been very, very super trickly, right? And like I'm on the extra list. I'm on the list where I'm like, yeah, feed me everything. I'm your baby bird. Come on, right?
Yeah.
Thunderbird. And it's been very not a lot. So I have indeed forgotten the name of the service that I need to sign up for when it becomes available, because I do want the URL that they're going to give you an email. I think if you pay for it, it's tb.pro. And I'm a sucker for real short stuff, right? So that'll be cool. But anyway, one of the features of Pro, I don't know if it's going to be available right at the beginning, but is going to be Thunderbird Send. Send, I can't remember. But anyway, Send from the people that do Thunderbird. So it's not going away, but I mean, it makes a lot of sense.
Well,
why
and it probably fixes some of the problems they had with it. They definitely had a spam problem, right? And so putting it kind of in a different, it probably helps with that. So
yeah,
I'm good with that. That makes sense.
I mean, it did make sending malicious files over the internet super easy. Yeah,
it did.
So
it also made it sending legitimate ones over the internet super easy. So that was nice,
right? And that's what I'm about. I mean, reduce the friction when I need to get a file to someone that doesn't have the same services that I do or whatever. I'm just like, here's a link. Click on that, and it'll download your file. That I think is it
was cool.
There's a niche to be filled there. And I think that is a really cool way to do it, because it doesn't happen all the time. But sometimes you run into that friend that just refuses to use this or that or whatever. Like, I only use WhatsApp ever.
Yeah.
And okay. All right, man. It's not my cup of tea. So here, have a Thunderbird sync thing link, whatever.
Sure.
Thunderbird sync link. Oh no. Is that good or bad?
Did you just coin that? I don't know. That might not be terrible.
I did. Thunderbird. So that is I think something that's really cool. Unfortunate that Mozilla got rid of it, but it's a money sink, right? I mean, you need lots of storage, lots of servers, and lots of things to be able to do that. But the other thing that I hear all the time, we touched on it a little bit in the last time we talked about Firefox, or Mozilla actually, the new CEO, was that Firefox is still bloated. I mean, their forward momentum is still carrying them into AI. People don't want that. Even though it's not really truly baked in, Dan, we had a conversation about this before the show. Like, it's not truly baked in because, like, there's friction to actually getting the little chatbots onto the left-hand side, or actually, I don't know that that's where it is by default. Maybe I put it there. Anyway, there's friction there. So you can't just like immediately dive into so it's not baked in.
Right.
But because of that, it has the air of being baked in, and the air of Firefox becoming an AI first browser.
The whole blog announcement and all that stuff, it kind of got taken out of context a little bit, because people AI. Oh no, yeah,
I know
that was all they read.
But we dug into the analysis. We know better.
Did. Go back and listen to that episode. We give you all the scoop on that one.
Totally worth. But this is a really cool project that if you're one of those people and you're like, oh, Firefox, why? I just want you to focus on the browser. Then we got you.
You got options. There's options.
Yeah. So Corbin Davenport has created a script that works on, Dan, you said it was everything except for
Edge on Linux.
Okay. And I think
other operating systems it works on too. So, Mac OS, Windows, Linux, any browser pretty much.
Good.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So this is a script called Just the Browser, and that's exactly what it does. It removes everything except for just the browser. So
yeah, more or less.
For those of you that haven't quite moved over from Firefox to something else, but you're really on the fence about doing it, and you really thought you really wanted to do it or whatever, you don't necessarily have to, but you still can. Yeah. But if you don't, and you still want to get rid of all that fluff, well, there's a script for you that'll take care of all of this.
Just clean it right up. And it doesn't matter if you're using Chrome, though, either. Chrome, Firefox, you name it, whatever, insert browser here. It'll kind of clean that up. And that's kind of cool. I do wonder a little bit, like, does this need to exist? I mean, there are other browsers that sort of, essentially that's what they're doing. And then, things like Waterfox and whatnot, they're stripping out parts of, Firefox, and it's kind of like Vivaldi's stripping out parts of, Chromium, if you will.
Yeah.
And they sprinkle their own little salt on it, of course, but essentially those are kind of doing some of this similar stuff, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, It's not a difficult process or whatever, but I guess if you're on the fence about these telemetry features, because just the browser helps you remove the AI features, telemetry data reporting, sponsored content, product integrations, and just general annoyances in your browser. And if you want those kinds of things, but you're like me, you're lazy, you're not going to move, but you would like some of these things taken off. And I'm also not going to do all the searches that I need to do to be able to go into about config and then actually this one and this one and this one and this.
You got to know which flags to go search for too. It's not even like, I mean, there's a lot to look through. I mean, and if you don't know which ones you're looking at, good luck.
Yeah, but with this, you don't have to. It's going to take care of that.
It does it for you.
Yeah. And so Firefox, Edge, Chrome, all of the above, all of that stuff, it'll take care of it for you. But I don't know. I do think Kagi might be worth a try. I don't think just the browser will handle the Kagi browser just yet. Or Orion.
No, probably not. Not some of those obscure things. It's not going to handle those probably,
right.
But yeah,
maybe
the mainstream ones.
Right, maybe one day if Orion gets really big. But it is something that I am going to look into. I think there'll probably be a little bit more about this in a future episode, just because I'm curious about it. And I think the fact that it's WebKit really kind of snatched me, because I wanted to like GNOME Web because it's WebKit, but I mean, and it's been a while. It may actually be much, much, much better by now. But the last time I used it, maybe a couple of years ago, it was just a lot of stutters, a lot of slowness. YouTube worked pretty good, but it really seemed like the performance was where GNOME Web was kind of struggling a lot.
Yeah, there's some niceties and there's some things that aren't so nice. Yeah. And that's So you stumbled on some of the ones that aren't so great. I think the user interface that you get with GNOME Web is kind of nice. It's not bad.
No, not at all.
It's a little clean. It's very clean, a little simple, which is what draws a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I think GNOME does kind of take after, not necessarily Mac OS, but just the kind of idea of having a cleaner interface. And Safari really does try to do that, even more so now than before. But and Kagi takes after that as well. But my main wonder here is, if Kagi is using WebKit on Linux, Kagi will probably be hacking away on WebKit as well. Which I'm hoping what that means is that
everybody can benefit.
Exactly. Any kind of thing that Kagi fixes or maybe upstreams or issues or helps with at all will then flow down and help benefit GNOME Web as well, which means that we may be able to say, or at least to put GNOME Web up there with the other browsers that we use all of the time.
Well, and I know Apple keeps kind of their own fork of WebKit stuff too. And not all of that makes it back, probably.
Right.
Not all of it, gets in there. So, they're kind of ahead and behind all at the same time. And so hopefully this is a bit more of a collaborative effort, if you will. So everybody else can benefit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's to be seen, but I am really, really hoping that is how this is going to actually shake out. And that's just going to help everybody out. It would be cool.
Yeah, I think so. All right. You can catch these and all the other great topics as they unfold on our Lemmy and our subreddit and our news channel on Discord. Tried a little bit here as of late to try to keep up with some of those news things and get them posted up. I did fall down a little bit over the break. And I know Leo did too a little bit. So, we'll hopefully pick it back up now that we're back in the swing of things. So you can catch that over at, lemmy.linuxuserspace.show. That's our Lemmy instance. And for Reddit, it's linuxuserspace.show/Reddit. One of the things I want to spin up here, instead of rattling off all of these links that are kind of easy actually, but is there's an open source alternative to like a link tree thing.
Is it called HTML 5.0?
No, it's not that. It's
not that basic. Not that basic. Okay.
No. But if you've seen Linktree, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That maybe I'll get that going at some point, and we'll you'll be able to just go mash the button.
So maybe what? linuxuserspace.show/links. Don't go there now.
Links.
You'll get redirected somewhere, but
to something. I don't know what you get, but yeah, that's my thought. And then you just go mash the buttons you want to for the things you want to do.
Yeah. And actually, Fireside, our podcast host, actually emailed us recently saying that they had new socials and this and that and stuff. And so, I mean, it acts like kind of like a link tree, but we're the thing about that
we
stuff,
do have links there too. Yeah, you could go there and mash buttons.
But only some of them, right? Because we're kind of they don't let you just say, "Oh, and here's where all your other links that you want." Like you have to actually edit the page, and so it's not in the same place. So, I mean, having something
I should go look at that, because like if you said they had new socials, some of the problem with that was they didn't have all the socials that we were on. Right?
Well, they definitely don't have Lemmy, but they did add in. I don't know if they added it in just recently or they added it in before, but they have Mastodon now. I know they do now. They may have before. Actually, I'll have to go to the website and find out.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll go fill into things that are blank now because they're new, and that'll populate the little buttons on the page.
Yeah, but there'll still be buttons that are missing, and I think that's really kind of the niche that we're trying to fill with.
Yeah, and I think I could fix that.
Yeah, and I think that would be a good thing.
I'll put it on the to-do list for future Dan.
Wait, the to-do list like the Cloudflare GitHub
maybe
thing?
Ooh. Oh gosh. Maybe not. Maybe not like code to-dos, but yeah.
No, this is a project that I don't think it was vibe coded, but
well, some of it was.
All right, so we're gonna feed some of the trolls, I guess. Actually, not all of these. There's a couple of them. They're a little on the trolly side, but I want to talk about some of the feedback that we got that's been piling up. For some reason, YouTube has decided that people need to see our old Gentoo experience.
Yeah, that seems to be popular all of a sudden.
Yeah, so that has gotten some retraction. It was a year and a half ago, but it got some retraction, so people are finding it again. So we have a few comments from that, and that's where all the trolling ones come from. But I wanted to start with queenkjuul. This is on the Windboat segment that we had, because we were kind of musing about Photoshop, right? Because I had seen some reports that Photoshop does work. So Queen says, Photoshop runs, but recent versions, 2022 and above, don't actually work. There's all sorts of issues with cursor rendering, keyboard shortcuts, and context menus when running it over RDP. Other Adobe products actually manage to be worse. Ugh.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, maybe a very old version of Photoshop would work. I only tried 2024 and 2022. Windboat is still extremely cool, but it works best for Office, apparently. And that is sad.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I'm sure it's against some sort of terms and conditions with Adobe. I think that's one of the things they don't want you to do, is to be able to remote into a machine and run, the Adobe products.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, that might actually be a way to like share your subscription and stuff.
Exactly. And so that's probably on purpose, if I'm guessing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, because if you're using RDP, then all you got to do is break some. You don't even have to break all of RDP. It can still work, but break the important little bits where you interact
like
with the software.
That's pretty important for your drawing application.
A little bit, just a little bit. I can't get to that menu. Yeah, and I guess that does actually make a whole lot of sense now that you mentioned that. So
I'm gonna guess it's on purpose, but and so that's unfortunate of the way that Windboat works, right? It uses RDP. So you probably gotta use some other wine-based thing probably to actually get Adobe products.
I wonder if so maybe one day.
That's probably a lot of work. It's probably a lot of work.
Oh right, yeah, exactly. So I'm totally like super wish listing here, but maybe one day if Photoshop is actually something that the Windboat folks want people to care about or want to actually develop for, I wonder if there's a way to do something other than RDP to get into the Windows. I don't know what else you would use because it wouldn't be native in the first place. So it would be a lot of uplift.
No, it's a container. So you got to get into it somehow, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and RDP seems like, I mean, it's obviously the best way to do that because it's Windows after all. But
I think it's a bunch of nifty little technology. And it probably works for most things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't need that level of, access. So, I think it's kind of cool.
So that means Photoshop will remain a thorn in Linux's side, even though we have really cool technology.
We got
like
some alternatives
Windows.
that are good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I use GIMP for the show. Like all the stuff that you see, like everything that you see
that
video
just keeps
wise.
getting better, right?
Yeah. Oh.
And there's things like Blender. Blender is good for, animation
everything
type stuffs, right?
Apparently you can do video editing in it.
You can do video editing. There's some people that swear that is their video editor. That's it. That's what they do.
I looked at it for a hot minute, did not understand it, and was like, you know what? Kden Live does make sense after all.
Well, say what you want. I mean, Blender is kind of popular. There is there's like big film animation. Like you know what I just saw today? Netflix animation stuff. They just dumped a boatload of money into the Blender project.
That is exactly correct. So I do actually wonder if the entire video workflow is done in Blender, or is the base video done in Blender and then it's exported out so you can mess with it in Premiere and everything else. I do wonder.
I don't know, but I mean, I guess the whole point is there's options.
Yeah, definitely, and some good Linux options as well.
Yep.
All right, so yeah, this name. So KnoochyPoochy on our Gentoo for a year check-in video. Short and sweet. Just said, spoiler, Gentoo sucks. No, man, maybe for you, but there's a lot of people still using Gentoo, so I will wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think Gentoo may have had a bigger place in the Linux ecosphere a few years ago, but no, it's still definitely the opposite of sucking.
Oh yeah, no, and I think it's got a place, but one of the things that used to be the claim to fame was all the performance enhancement that you got by compiling stuff for your machine. But now machines are, we'll say it a little more generic, so everybody is, got enough machine to run these things pretty performantly anyway, and you just don't see a big gain like you did once upon a time. So, does it suck? It can suck to maintain, but I don't know that it's a terrible system. I think it's a little bit of work, and that's the sucky part. But once you get it running, maintaining it isn't too bad. I mean, we did it for a year. I guess we could have went further, but
there's feedback about that. So
I'd
keep that in your mind. No, I think I tend to agree. I think for someone that isn't into maintaining your system or whatever, you can look at that and you can absolutely think that it sucks. But I mean, I've known so many people that run Gentoo, and I mean it's like Arch. Like part of the reason that you run Gentoo is that you maintain it. So that is absolutely fun for a lot of people, or at the very least interesting, or something that they want to do. So yeah, man, I mean, it's just a different strokes kind of thing.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah,
I didn't hate it. It was a little time consuming, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah, and for people that don't want to spend that time, yeah, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So on that same episode, DLucky747 said, "Can you do an update to this?" so we did the Gentoo for a year.
Yes. What is their update though?
Well, every package on the system, I think, right? But
yeah. Well, yeah. Could I keep the system going longer? Probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say that first month was figuring it all out, learning all the bits and bobs, and kind of figuring your way around or whatever. And the documentation.
Yeah, all
is
the
good,
nuance.
But I have this thing where like I'll read something and I second guess myself over and over and over about, is that what they meant? Did they mean that? Like, what? Wait, because that could mean something, and it's not that the documentation is bad. It's that my interpretation of the documentation is bad. And so I end up in a rabbit hole.
Well, and sometimes until you get to go do it, you don't really appreciate what it's saying.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Exactly. And so after that first month, though, I mean, it does kind of flatten out. Like, you've done all the hard work, and really all you get to do is just
I think so.
emerge, new use world, all the options and everything. And
and you do that a couple of times and you got it down.
Yeah, exactly. So the only real lift is if you wanted to add new software, not just like this application or that application,
changing
but
your
like
use flags and stuff,
right,
kind of keeping, that sort of thing. Yeah, sure.
exactly. And if like dependency issues ever come up or whatever, maybe having to deal with that. The one thing that we had to deal with,
reading the news, you got to read the news,
and it's that that doesn't come very often, but.
No, but when it does,
yeah, I got caught in between the user bin.
There's a user merge.
Yeah, the user merge issue, and so that was a bit of a lift. But I mean, I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was time consuming.
No.
You had to be sure of what was going on, otherwise, bad things could happen. So
you had to read.
Yeah, so I think maybe what may not be a full episode or a full deep dive into an update on that, but I mean, yeah, I still got it running over there, or I still have it on a disk, so I'll pop it back in, see if I can emerge world and let you know if it broke or not.
Yeah, it might be a little tricky if you let it sit too long.
I did let it sit for a long time, so
it could be problems.
This could be interesting.
But we did it once, we could do it again.
Oh yeah. So our friend Shamaj2210 said, maybe you're willing to give Mozilla infinite rope. And by the way, this is on the new Mozilla CEO video. And this is something that I said, Dan. I see you already reacting to that.
Yeah, I'm not infinite. Infinite rope that's a whip. That's too far.
Yeah, your rope is already gone. He continues.
Maybe I'm a little bit of rope, but I don't know about infinite.
All right. So he continues. Maybe I'm a cynic. But I look at this new Mozilla CEO, I listen to the recaps from the blog post, and I think this is the same crap with a new CEO, and I wonder if this Mozilla CEO will last longer than the last. Then I look at the Mozilla trend line. Every time they have chased a trend, not AI not even being the newest trend that they have attempted to latch onto, they've moved further away from just being a good browser. And we need good browser options. But Mozilla never, ever just want to be about the browser.
I don't know that that's totally wrong.
No, and I wrote out a response to him. I'm not going to read it here. You can go read it. You can go actually read the response, but I'll paraphrase it here. And I mean, I am giving Mozilla infinite rope. And I know I don't think he was saying that to you, Dan. I think he was saying it to me, but
thank goodness.
yeah, because you're not. But I think I'm willing to do that because of the very last thing that you said. Mozilla doesn't ever just want to be about the browser, and I know that is true. That is a true statement. Because you're right, chasing the AI thing, I think that's a dead end, man. I don't think it's going to be better than any of the other agentic.
I think that's dead end for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a really eccentric and awesome ecosystem for add-ons and things like that. I mean, Firefox Send has been something good that they didn't that they were chasing that wasn't the browser. What's the email one? Relay. Firefox Relay. Because
Relay.
Not only can you do emails, you can do phone numbers with that.
Yep.
You have to pay for that, but I mean, that is something that they were chasing that wasn't the browser. But so what I guess my point is, I think they do a good job.
They're browser adjacent though. And you need some of those things to keep your browser relevant, I feel. Because they integrate with the browser. And they aren't just browsing the web. But I think if you don't have any features, then people will be uninterested in you as well. So, I'm not willing to give them infinite rope, but I can give them a little bit of rope. Let's try some stuff. And as long as it doesn't detract from the thing that you're supposed to be focused on, I'm okay with that. And if it makes your browser a little more relevant, that's cool. I feel like some of those things that you just mentioned are really kind of close. Whereas some of the other things they've tried, I feel like they shouldn't have, perhaps.
Like Rust. Get it out of here. Get it out of here.
Well, no, that's a fundamental foundation thing. I don't know that was all bad.
No, it definitely was not.
No, the AI stuff, let's go to that for a minute. I don't know that they should be dabbling too hard into that. I think the wait and see approach is probably the best way. You don't need to jump both feet into that. Let everybody else figure out what's the best approach, and then maybe try to adopt something that works for you.
Well, I think that's kind of what they did.
Maybe not at all. Maybe that's what we'll figure out is just not at all. Yeah, they give you the option to do any of the things. I don't know. Just why? What is it helping? I just don't know. Yet to be seen.
I mean, folks that want a chatbot, I guess, whatever. But and I totally get that. I mean, I agree on the AI thing for sure.
Yeah, so they all have a webpage, right? You can interact with it on a webpage. All this is doing is just bringing it closer to you somehow, maybe. I don't know. What do you need that for? I don't understand necessarily.
Yeah, I agree. You don't. But the thing, there has to be a way for Mozilla to make money, and you don't make money on the browser, so it has to be somewhere else, especially if you want to detach from Google. So I don't know that they have to be just about the browser, but I think that does bring up my question, which is...
It's got to be a little closer to the browser. Maybe not only about the browser, but a little closer.
I don't even know that I would put that stipulation on it, right? Because Rust is not close to the browser, yet it has become
it's a fundamental thing. Yeah.
Right. I mean, they used Rust to create Servo, which was supposed to be for the browser, but...
I think they have some other tools written in Rust as well.
Right, exactly.
I don't think it was all for naught.
Right. So, Rust is one of those examples of something that you can create that is not the browser that can then become the foundation of absolutely everything else, which is a good thing, right? And they're not making money off of it, which is a shame. I mean, you really can't on a language.
Well, sure.
But I don't think... I guess my question... So it leads me to that question of... Maybe they're not focusing all of their attention on the browser, but I don't know what it is about the browser that isn't good enough. Because I look at all the other browsers and I'm like, I think Firefox does that one better. I think it does that better too. Right. And I mean, enough so that's why they get infinite rope from me.
I think there's some of those standards that aren't standards that seem to work better in other places because... they've made them a standard, even though they're not a standard. Does that make sense? I think there's some of that they may be falling behind on, or just too resistant to adopt, perhaps. Because, it works great in Chrome because Chrome's made it, the standard for them. And it's not one of the web standards, if you will.
Oh, see, and this is actually one of my pet peeves about the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it shouldn't exist at all. Right? Perhaps, but it does.
I mean, Chrome having as big a seat on the W3C as they do is, I think, an extremely bad thing for the web. I mean, Mozilla created the MDN, and every at least front end web developer that I know references that as the canonical dictionary for how
should be the lowest common denominator, right? Of how to get it to work everywhere. Yeah,
exactly. And those aren't JavaScript or whatever rules for Mozilla. They are the standard for the web. Right. And so when, a browser as big as Chrome is making things not work in Firefox because they do it one way and they're forcing everybody else to do it another, that's just...
They seem to.
That's just big Chrome being a jerk.
It is. It's shady.
Right. So, because I hear the one complaint I hear about Mozilla a lot is that, it doesn't work on this web app or it doesn't work on this web app or whatever. Oh, and those web apps just also happen to be Google web apps. And it's like... Man,
well, of course
really?
Not. Yeah.
Why couldn't you just write them to the standard and then they would work in every browser just fine?
Well, yeah, you can't be semi-proprietary when you do that, though. So
true.
You know, yeah. So that hurts a little bit. But you know, like we were talking about AI, right? You don't need to incorporate it necessarily. What about getting those progressive web app things back again? I know they're working on it, but wouldn't that help? Because then you could just make a little PWA for whatever thing you wanted. Right? Then you don't have to worry about integrating it into your browser.
Yeah.
You just make the browser work with it, and you're done.
I do think that is a pretty important thing that does need to come back. I swear I saw it, but maybe not.
Yeah, they announced it. It's not done yet, though.
Okay, and it's not going to be like full on PWA either. It's going to be kind of a stripped down version of a PWA. So
I think so.
There's going to be restrictions on it. As well.
I think it hurts. I think it hurts until you get that, right? Yeah, I think so. There's some things. There's a couple small things, it seems like, to just kind of focus on. And then all the other stuff should fall in place.
Yeah. I mean, so I guess it's okay. So PWA's running 10,000 tabs like that one girl.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another feature request. Make sure it can.
You don't have 10,000 tabs. You have 10,000 windows.
Right. Yeah. See. There's a fix for everything. There's a
That's better
for everything. Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely giving Firefox and Mozilla a whole lot more rope than they probably deserve. But I mean, until
I'll take a cautiously optimistic wait and see approach, and maybe something good will happen. Don't know. Yet to be seen.
Yeah. We'll see. So on that same Mozilla CEO segment, sinisterdesign said, if hating generative AI is fringe, then why are the CEOs of Microsoft and NVIDIA out there making public statements to try and convince people to stop hating it? Cautiously optimistic is not the overwhelming majority attitude that you think it is, brother. So this was where I kept saying that there was a chasm, right? So Dan and I, we're not AI data scientists or statisticians or whatever. We don't work directly on AI, but we have a lot of interaction with AI. We see a lot of people that work with AI. And that gives us, I mean, a decent understanding of what is happening, at least in between the person and the AI. And that puts us in the fringe. And sinisterdesign, that puts you in the fringe because you likely know a little bit about this AI stuff. And that it's
enough to stay away.
Yeah, and it's just regurgitating a lot of information that it got from the web, right? I read another article about the bad code that ends up on GitHub is ending up in the AI, so that the AI is actually spitting out bad code, and then so you end up with this weird little AI centipede over and over and over and over again, and the code just gets worse and worse and worse. And so we know this, right? But the general public does not know this. And the reason the CEOs are saying, please love me, AI, is money. Because they need people like us to just accept it, to just accept AI and love AI so that we stop telling the normal people that are not on the fringe, that are in that chasm, to start loving AI too. Because they spent $1 trillion. They got to recoup some of that money somehow.
the money is the key, right? That's what it all boils down to. Is bottom line is dollars, and they've had huge investments, so they have money they have to pay back.
But it's funny money, It's like NVIDIA traded to Microsoft, and Microsoft traded to ChatGPT or OpenAI, and now OpenAI is and it's all that same $10 floating around and around and around, and yet somehow it was $1 trillion. But
that takes that out of circulation, if nothing else. So I think even though it's funny money that's getting passed back and forth.
Well, it's getting counted every time it passes by, though, which is my problem, right? So that $10 is somehow $100,000 somehow, but it's just
that's a pyramid
$10.
Scheme, yeah, you just
it's
defined
the
it
same
right
$10, man.
Yeah, and they're trying to get more people to throw their $10 in. See, by saying it's great.
Well, of course, and that's how they actually recoup a lot of this cost. But let me tell you something,
that's
man.
Right.
Like Sora,
the bubble will bust at some point.
I hope it does. But like Instagram has been for over a month now. It seems like just been filled with slop, AI trash that's floating around. Someone's using it.
Yeah, they're not the only ones. I mean, I think some of those other social media platforms are doing the same things.
Absolutely, right? I mean, people are using Grok all day. You can hate Twitter and you can hate Grok, but man, it gets a whole lot of use.
Well, then you got the other meta stuff, and then you got the TikTok, and they've all got it. They've all got it.
Exactly. So I mean, there really is, I'm telling you, there really is this massive chasm of people that just do not care, that will use AI because it's there. Whether it's helpful or not does not really make that much of a difference. This is the way, okay? And I see it at work as well, where, I don't know that it's better work than they could have produced in roughly the same amount of time of asking the AI over and over and over and over and over to get it right. But it's being used, and that's the general public. That's that chasm in the middle, and that puts us on the fringes for sure.
Right, because I know collectively right here, this group, at least the three of us, we're not optimistic about AI, and so there's and we're only cautious. So,
I mean, I'm telling you, there really are going to be some really cool uses that come out of it, but the everything machine is not it.
That's right. Yeah, we keep coming back to that. I think having those little small niche things is the right approach. The more narrow and more defined you could make it, the better it works and the better results you'll get, and the less crap it'll produce.
Yeah.
But when you throw everything plus the kitchen sink plus, your kitchen sink and, the one from down the street at it, it's going to give you something really strange. It's not going to work out.
And it's definitely not going to result in AGI somehow.
No, it's not going to be good.
It's going to tell you that it's AGI, but that's just a hallucination.
Yeah. And like you said, the centipede thing, it's feeding on itself too. And that just, it's the clone of the clone of the clone of the clone, and eventually it looks nothing at all like what it started with.
My favorite thing is that the AI really truly is now searching the web or whatever, and it is really truly actually reading just the AI news reports, let's call them, and it's reporting on that. So the AI is telling you what the AI legit said. Yeah, and if there was a hallucination at any point...
So then you got two sources. Yeah. Right? You got two sources. It's a legit news story.
Oh, man. Wow. Yep, exactly. I've cited it correctly, sir.
No, you did. You cited yourself twice. Good job.
Oh, that's right. That is correct.
That's where we're headed. I'm not optimistic.
I'm not either.
Anyway, you can catch all the links at linuxuserspace.show. And if you do want to send us that feedback, you can do it at contact@linuxuserspace.show, or you can go to linuxuserspace.show/contact. Both of those will land stuff in our inbox. And obviously, you can send comments in all the other places on the YouTube video that you're watching. If you're doing that, you can send them over on Mastodon, Lemmy, whatever you got. You can send it at us.
So next time, we're going to talk about a whole lot more stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll find out this next time what we're going to talk about. But in between shows, you can catch us on Twitter, Mastodon, Telegram, Matrix, Discord, whatever. I don't know. If it's out there, linuxuserspace.show/something, and you'll find us. Whatever the app you want to see, if we're on, you just type in the thing, right? /TikTok. Might take you to.
Yeah, I guess we're over there.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I'm trying to do a little bit more of the shorty whatnot stuff. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, if you have suggestions, you can always post those over on our Reddit at reddit.com/r/Linux user space, which has a new moderator, by the way. And over on Lemmy as well, there's a user forum specifically on Lemmy just for that kind of thing, for feedback and whatnot. But you can also contribute to the news. Did you know this? Over on Lemmy, you can actually contribute your own news.
Sure.
And
if you got a news article, drop it in there.
That's right. And that is where we pull all of the news articles, all the things that we're going to talk about, the stuff that we're going to talk about in the next episode. That's where we're going to pull it from. If you think that there is something interesting in a news story or whatever, drop a news article in, lemmy.linuxuserspace.show/c/news. And from there, we'll pick up on it and leave a comment under there as well, letting us know what you think about the news story, and then we'll see if we can't banter and then turn that into the show.
Absolutely.
Anyway, you can also chat with us on Discord and Telegram and all those other places, so you can drop the news article there, and we'll figure out a manual way to feed it over to the Lemmy and whatnot.
Absolutely.
But what I'm getting at is whatever you do, talk to us. Give us more ideas. Let us know what you think about the show, about the news article, about the whatever. And everything you've heard about on this episode, all of those links, those are going to end up in the show notes. And you can find those over at linuxuserspace.show/607. So, Dan, where can we find you?
You can find me at KC2BZ at mastodon.social or at monetary-abyss.social. That's my blue sky.
Oh, yeah. So you can find me at Leo Chavez at mastodon.social and also Leo Chavez over on Blue Sky. I hear there's an exodus, though, on the Blue Sky.
Blue Sky?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that's why I still have Mastodon.
You know, every single time anything like that happens, man, you always come home. We never left, but you always come home and remember where you came from, and that is the Fediverse. So come join us on the Fediverse. In the meantime, come back in 2 weeks for more Linux User Space.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. But there was latency today in between you and me. And I don't know that it's you. I don't know that it's me. It may...
I noticed it. And you got a little almost robotic, choppy audio.
Yeah. And I was trying to. I couldn't do it the whole time.
The OBS might not be great, but it would definitely let you line things up, I think.
Right. No, it might actually be me because I'm in...
Yeah,
I think it's AT&T actually, because it's not. I don't think it's the Wi-Fi because my desktop will do this every now and then too.
I mean,
and that
mine says I'm like 28 milliseconds, which is
I was hovering at 70 for most of it.
Pretty good numbers.
Yeah, and for connecting to an East Coast server, that's not bad at all. But now I'm hovering in the hundreds. So yeah, the choppiness was likely me.
Yeah, so, I mean, you obviously aren't going to have that on your video that's local.
Oh, right. No, that the great thing about that is that, yeah, exactly. That's why we have these. But what I think is going to happen, though, is I'll likely have to cut a lot of, like, some of what I say or whatever, because it ends up running over what you say, and I swear I'm not talking over you. Not all the time.
Yeah, no,
Some
I
of
noticed that a couple
latency.
times, too, and I was like, ooh, yeah, we are stomping on each other.
Yeah. So, but that's the stuff. I have gotten to the point now where I'm like, the show is the show.
Right.
I'm not gonna unless it's something super egregious that we need to take out or whatever. I'm not gonna mess with it. But what I will do is I will go in and take out one of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that we're not tripping all over each other. Or whatever. make it a lot more listenable. So that's really what I'm mainly concerned with anymore, is just making sure that it's listenable, because everything else is.
You'll get some of that in this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Because I mean, I would spend a lot of time on making it feel right, but I think that takes away from a lot of the je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, the back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And there's I don't know. I mean, I don't know, but that's us. So like, that's what you should see. Anyway, so yeah, I'm just taking out the stuff where we're tripping over each other anymore. And that does speed up the process a whole heck of a lot. But it does still take a good amount of time.